Hello there, everybody, and good morning. We gonna do the Sunday report today, and this is the beginning. And we're gonna be talking about equipment. We're gonna be talking about your lap steel and stuff like that. And I'm not zoomed in. I'm gonna cover a wide variety, and then I'm gonna get up and walk over there by the camera to show you some different things. But first thing I want to talk about is when you get your lap steel. The first thing, and I don't care what brand you get, the first thing you need to do is make sure that you lay the bar, and I like to do it at the 12th fret right here and go, and let me cut my volume pedal on because I had it off. And that's what I'm talking about now. I'm going to show you, I'm going to see if I can barely lift this bar up off of a couple of strings to give you an idea of what string setting height can do for you. Now listen at this. Hear that? Compared to this. What I did, and my bridge or saddle, whichever you want to call it, in the back is adjustable up and down. Now I've got a recording king, and this is a Rogue that I bought from a friend of mine that's passed away. I think I paid about $25 or $30 for it. We was having a yard sale, and he throwed it out there on the table, and I looked over there and I said, well, what in the world you got there? And he said, that's my old lap steel. He said, I don't play it no more, because he was a pedal steel player, but he started off with one of these. And I said, well, I want that, and I bought it from him. And it's been a great one. I've had to change the tuners out on it, because the tuners wasn't quite whole, so I ordered some new tuners from Stu Mack and put on there. When you get a lap steel though, if you get a recording king or whatever that's got a none, and I know a lot of high-priced guitars got a non-adjustable bridge on the back. All right, now, and what I want to tell you is, first thing, most of them come with strings that are way too light to have a good range of tuning. That's what I want to say, good range of tuning. And I'm talking about this guitar that I've got, these D'Addario EXL, and I'm going to show you right now, these are the strings. I'll bring them over here, and that way you can, y'all can write that down. These are the strings that I've used, and I do tuning from open E down to D. I've dropped it to a B, which is real low, and then I went up to the A7, C6 tuning, and all them tunings and all. And I hadn't had no problem with them, but these strings right here are the ones I recommend. And even if you don't get this particular ones here, make sure you get the nickel wound strings. They work better on lap steel because it lets your bar slide without a whole bunch of noise. They're not flat wound string now, but they're nickel wound. Okay, so when you get your lap steel, after you play with it a few days, you'll want to change the strings out. Alright, next thing is the tone bar. Get you one like I've been showing you, this handle. My favorite one right here is a Dunlop Tone Bar. It's a dobro bar, but I love it, and I use it. And it works great. So get you, and what I was going to tell you, I'm about to overpass it. If you put them big strings on, I call them big, they're heavy gauge strings, drop C if you notice up in the right hand corner of the string. But if you use these strings on your recording king or whatever that's a non-adjustable saddle in the back, You can actually get a little small rat tail file and like a jewelry file, jeweler's file. And you can go ahead and set your string heights, but you'll want to stick with the same gauge of string. You can't change gauge, because if you do, they're going to change the height that you got it set. So that's the way I take care of the adjustable bridge in the back for mine. But if you do that, please be careful. Also, you know, they make a lot of guitars out there. These right here are still available for around $99, which is a good deal. It's a good guitar. It's got a tone and a volume, which I keep both of them cranked wide open. I set my tone and volume on my amp. Alright, so once you get your lap steel and you want an amp, if you don't already have an amp, if you don't get but one effect in the amp, if I couldn't have but one effect in an amp, it'd be reverb. You gotta have reverb, because that's what makes this thing sound like it does and sound good. Hear the reverb, it gives it a room, big room sound. Next thing you want to get is a volume pedal. Now I've got two of them plugged in today, but I'm not using this. This is a Mallory volume pedal that takes 9 volts, and I pretty much use it like that, pretty much for off and on switch. When I'm going out and playing, I take this let's see, I believe that's a Dunlop or Ernie Ball, one of them. No, this is a Dunlop volume pedal. Right here, and then it's got a pot in it, just a big old permeator, a pot that's like in here, and when you push the pedal, it's got a chain or string in it that rolls it, and it sounds like this. And I like it because it's real, it's easy to work on your foot. Also, it's got a lot of range. You can cut a note off with it, like, or you can swell into a note. And then if you want to unplug it for some reason, without getting that growling noise like you would, cut it off. Then you can change to your guitar or your bass and cut it back on. That's another thing. That's the second thing I like about using the volume pedal, is that, listen, I'm going to have it on. You hear that? And when you're on stage with your big amp, right, that right there can become very loud. Whoom. And distraction. Scare the drummer to death or something like that. Alright, and then once you get that and your amp, your reverb, your volume pedal, your lap steel, and get it set up, you know, I'd suggest learning to play in an open E first, especially if you're a guitar player, because your notes, or your frets equal the same frets as they do on your guitar, which is a pretty cool thing. So learn your chords first. Also, once you learn your chords, mess around with the notes and the different ways of playing, and we'll zoom you in to go over that, but I use a pinch up style a lot. Or I use skip stringing. Or the banjo roll. Also, you can use finger picks or thumb pick, or me, I use a flat pick. So there you go. And I'm using my fingernails mostly like okay. Now, on your next piece of equipment, if you wanted to go a little further and you enjoy practicing, there's a couple more pedals. I'm going to push this one up before I can get to it. Another pedal, the second pedal of my choice other than the volume pedal. Would be looping pedal. It's a good pedal to practice with. Something like, let's make a little riff here in the key of G. I can add to it. But you get the point. Make your loop and practice over it. And also, it don't hurt to throw a CD on and practice over them. Also, and I'm about to forget this is also, probably should have said it in the first, when you're messing around with your lap steel and you're playing, when you're tuning, I'm going to get up again, folks. I'll show you this up close. Get you a good chromatic tuner, such as this right here, one that's got a readout. Let's see if I can turn it on. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see it reading out T. You know what I'm saying? You can read it, because the lap steel, most of them are too thick to clamp your clamp-on tuners to, but I got a lesson on how to do that by using the little pins. Wow, you can see the camera in the reflection of the screen right there. How about that? Double vision, triple vision. I see it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Goes deeper and deeper. I didn't know it do that. That's pretty cool, folks. All right, we learned something today about this. We talking about beginner at the start of your lap steel adventures. We done the end the other day. We did a little bit on the middle. And I want you to get out there, practice, and have fun playing. I've got my garden planted up with a lot of peppers and tomatoes right now. I've got a couple, and I'm going to just try to see how the germination rate is on. I've got a couple of squash seed I saved from my squash from last year. I just left them out in the field to dry out. They rattle around, the seed do like gourds inside. Now, you normally would have cut them out and brought them in and put them in the refrigerator, but I didn't, and I wanted to try that to see what would happen, so I planted them, and maybe they'll come up. I've got broccoli coming up, and I've got some lettuce coming up, and then, of course, I had to buy pepper plants. And remember I was telling you about the doggone cutworms got one of my plants? Well, I figured out a way to beat them cutworms, folks. I've been noticing in my garden on the ground, I put hay on it, and then I'll go down in there and plant my plants. Well, I ain't never had a cutworm problem there. So I took the same hay and put around inside my big pots, and I'll make a video and show you that sometime, maybe this evening. But I got these big old, probably 15-gallon pots that cow minerals come in that I fill up with dirt, and I have to use a tractor. And then I buy some of that black cow manure stuff they sell at Home Depot and mix up in there. But somewhere along the line I got some cutworms but in the deal. Probably out of my own field when I dug up the dirt, who knows. But anyway, I put that hay in there, packed it around them plants. Bingo, no more problem. So a pair of cutworms come out of the ground and they get tangled up in that hay, they must not like it and go back down in there. Maybe they'll starve to death. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the little beginner style lap steel lesson today. I'm hoping I didn't leave nothing out. I'm sure I did, but you know, that's just the way it is now. Other pedals is all for, you got my second, my third, my first favorite pedal is the volume pedal. That's something you can do with it. Is play a tune without hearing the attack, and the attack sounds like this. You can get you. know, that's one thing. Also, I should have turned this on. I've got a canyon pedal, and I keep it on a shimmer effect. I love that thing. Matter of fact, Speedy's got one. But it gives trails to your notes. And that's the shimmer canyon pedal. Now, I've also got overdrive pedals, I got a synthesizer pedal, and I've got a custom axle grease delay pedal. It gives it, here we go, I'll let you hear it. It gives it sure enough big room, delay and reverb. They're about overkill to me, but you can adjust it. I've got it, I mean, you can make it get wild. And then I got I'll turn it on, let you hear it, the synthesizer. Now I got it set on the organ sound right now. Pretty cool, and it's got thousands of sounds in it. I hadn't even explored them all, and each sound can be adjusted to your liking. I've used it. There's one sound in there, and I have a hard time finding it. It sounds like voices in the background, kind of like one of those old Clint Eastwood Western music where you had the people in the choir singing in the background one of his songs. Now, I've used that effect. Anyway, that's about the size of what we got. If there's any information you need to know about the lap steel, please give us a shout. If you enjoyed the lesson, give us a thumbs up and comment. And I hope you have a great week out there, people. Get out there and plant something in the yard somewhere or in a pot on your windowsill if you live in one of them apartments. Y'all take care.